brass monkey, that funky monkey. Anybody know where that's from? It's actually supposed to be brass monkey. Does anybody know what that's from? If you know what it's from, post your comments below and tell me what song that is and who sings it. Okay, so real quick, I found out that in Rochester, New York, about a hour and a half away from me, there is this show that goes on every year that I knew nothing about. So I am definitely going to it this year. See if I can show you guys a little preview thing that was sent to me yesterday. It's a 2016 upstate New York commercial turf show. Yeah, it's kind of like the GIE Expo, only I'm imagining on a much smaller scale than the GIE. But I'm going to that tomorrow. It is actually today and tomorrow, but I can't do it today, so I'm going tomorrow. I'm taking a buddy of mine with me that owns another lawn care landscape company, and it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm definitely going to film some of it in there for you guys, and we'll see what it's all about. Anyway, this video is about winter funds. And the reason I'm making this video now is because now is when it's important, and now is when it should be on the foremost part of your brain. It should be in the front of your mind. It should be, you know, you should be thinking about it heavily right now. Excuse me, and maintain that thought throughout the season. Now, as many of you guys know, I spent the last, I'm on my 11th year working for an armored truck company as a firearms instructor, and I don't know, many other jobs in that industry. But for the last 3 years, I've gone down to 1 day a week, just because I'm running my business, which I really I could have just quit it 3 years ago. I really didn't need to carry it on. I pretty much did because of, I really like the job and I like a lot of the guys I work with. But anyway, that's coming to an end in about 2 weeks or so, and I just don't have time for it anymore with all the new changes to the business this year. Anyway, winter funds. I stockpile as much money as I possibly can throughout the summer. And what that means is, when I'm in the bulk of my season, from like spring, summer, fall, that's the seasons that I make 90% of my income for the year. And which is, I'm sure, is the same for many of you guys. So what I do is, I know what it costs me each month to live, my bills, my expenses, things like that. So what I do is I figure how many months of winter are typical in my area to where I won't be able to do lawn care. Okay, so I take that amount of months and I figure out what it costs me each month to survive through the winter. Well, I double that amount, and when I double that amount for each month, we'll just say, just for the hell of it, for the purpose of this video, we'll say it costs me $1,000 a month to live. Okay, I double it. So I want to have $2,000 for each month that I think the winter is going to last. Okay, so you know, I take that total amount, and that's what my winter fund's going to be. Now, my goal is to have that in there by Labor Day every year. Now, what is Labor Day is roughly what, the first weekend September, I believe, second weekend September. That's my goal. So from when the season kicks off all the way until then, that's my goal. I know how much I have to have in that account, and I strive to get that much in that account. Some years I made just enough with all my other expenses throughout the year to put that much money away. And some years, like last year, I put much more in there than I needed to put in there, which just gave me more of a cushion to get through the winter. And starting this season off, I still have money left in there, so I'm starting the season off with extra money. Now, does that mean I can just go and spend that money? No. I can if I want, but I don't. What I do is I just start adding to it again. So say I started last year with nothing in that account, Well, this year I'm starting off with, say, $1,000 in that account. So I'm already $1,000 ahead starting the season off. So I know roughly, usually I mow right up through till Thanksgiving in my area. That's usually what I can mow to. So my goal is to have that money in there by Labor Day. Now, any mowing, any fall cleanups, anything I do after Labor Day is all just bonus. That's all just extra money that I'm putting in there. Last year, 2015, I did my last fall cleanup Christmas Eve day. So it has just been a really weird winter for me. And that's been great. It's really worked out in my favor as far as that goes. I don't consider, now I'm in the Northeast, okay? I don't consider snow plowing as part of my annual income. I don't gamble on winter. Last year, the month of February, I never got out of my truck. I plowed round the clock. I think there was 3 days out of the whole month that I didn't have to go out and plow snow. This year, I think I've been out a total of 12 times, 10, 12 times, something like that. So, I have some commercial properties that are contracts, so I get paid whether it snows or not. So those have been great, but all my residentials are pay per plow. It's just like mowing. I total them up at the end of the month, and the customer gets invoiced at the end of the month. Now, if everything I did was pay per plow and I relied on that to get me through the winter, I'd be screwed this year. I'd be in a lot of trouble. So because I create that winter fund, I don't have to rely on snow plowing. And that's just how I do it. Everybody has their own way. That's how I do it. For those of you that have asked me questions about winter funds and what do I do for the winter, how do I make it when the season slows down, some guys down south and out west, they get to switch over to bi-weeklies, or maybe once every 3 weeks or something. They get to go out and mow and still maintain things, still do some trimming, things like that. That's all pretty much non-existent in my area. I am like 5 minutes north of Niagara Falls, New York, which is right there by Buffalo, New York. So pretty much anybody can get a good general idea of where I'm at. So most winters we usually get pounded with quite a bit of snow. So I'm right on all of the Great Lakes. So in the Great Lakes area, I'm like dead in the middle of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario is where my house is. So that gives you an idea where I'm at. But like I said, this year we didn't get very much snow, so I'd have been in trouble. So that's my goal. You guys, if that's your plan and that's how you need to do things, can you go get a job during the winter? Yeah, of course you can. You can get some crappy little job and doing whatever and maintain a job through the winter, but it all depends on your style, what you want to do, and how you want to work it out. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's circumstances are different. So you pretty much just got to judge it based on your lifestyle, your needs, and what you need to do to get through. So when it's super, super cold out, I really don't want to be out there working every day. I just don't want to do it. I did it for enough years, and I don't want to anymore, and that's why I create this winter fund. So that's how I do it. That's my system. And right now, the season... I'll tell you what, it is actually March 16th right now. And if the weather stays the way it has been, I will guarantee I will be starting my cuts at the beginning of April. The soonest I've ever been able to cut in my area is like the end of the second week in May. So this is pretty unheard of. This is looking like it's going to give me a whole extra month of mowing, or at least 2 to 3 weeks of it. So I'm super stoked about that. But this winter fund is foremost in the front of my mind right now, and I'm already thinking I need to get packing money into that account just to make sure. I want to not only hit my goal, I want to exceed it like I did last year, so I'm nice and comfortable throughout the winter. Now, there's a lot of things I take out of that. It's not just my monthly expenses. It's I take Christmas shopping out of that. All kinds of things come out of that that I like to do for my kids and for my wife throughout the winter. Any improvements on equipment that has gotten me through the summer but could use a little attention. You guys have seen all the improvements and things I made this winter. unfortunately, I had a lot of bad things happen at the end of last year where I needed to fix a lot of equipment, which cost me a great deal of money. But just on a general basic year, you know, parts, things get worn down from year to year, so I take a little bit of that money in there. I plan for, you know, doing repairs to equipment that, you know, I didn't have time to do throughout the season, and weren't bad enough that it shut me right down. They could wait till the end of the season, so I spend my winters doing that, and I make sure I have the money in there to buy parts and things like that. So a lot ties into that. But for those of you that asked about winter funds, that's how I do it. That's how I set it up. That's my goal by Labor Day every year. And if that's your plan, if you don't want to work a job over the winter, or you don't want to have to rely on things like that, you don't want to have to rely on snow plowing, because you never know what the winter's going to do, then a winter fund might be a fantastic idea for you. All right, that is it for now. I'm not really sure that I'll add anything else to this video today. Tomorrow is that turf show, and I'm super excited about it, so I will definitely get that on film tomorrow. But unless I come up with something else I'm going to add to this today, then this will be it. But winter fun video, that's what this one is. And don't forget, if you guys know that song and who sings it, put it in the comments. All right, guys, I'm out.